Sailing, sailing home, sailing, sailing home. With Jesus in the boat, you can smile at the storm as we go sailing home.
I sailed all the way to my island property that's just like, it's like 130 miles by boat. It took me about 2.5 days. So day one, I headed out. It was a gorgeous day. February 25th, 2019. Solo sail to Sonora, day one. It's crazy how much scarier things are alone. With others, I can laugh carefree when problems come up. Then when I anchored, I got in the dinghy and the wind was so strong I couldn't get back. Right where I came to shore was a shack of a house. I went up to the house and a woman with a, might I add, a like 70-year-old woman with a chainsaw, she was like cutting firewood or something, noticed me. I learned later her name was Barbara. She called Kevin, a boat tow guy, and he brought me, the dogs, and my dinghy back to the boat. All of this took like hours, and by then the sun was going down. So I anchored in this little, it was like an island and then like a tiny island. And I anchored in there. It was so windy all night and I did not sleep. It's 7 a.m. It was so windy all of last night. I feel... Day two on the boat. Right now we're going 5.8 miles per hour. Pretty much 6. I got the auto helm, which is like the best thing ever, and it's just like such a beautiful day. Everything went well today though. When I started looking for a place to stay for the night, a beautiful marina showed up. I've never been so happy to be in a still boat. Thank you, Jesus, for docks. February 27th. Morning, day 3. I slept so amazing. I was like 100% gonna turn around. Today, I'm feeling great. Okay, we're in Powell River right now. And the cabin is right there, right there, Sonora Island. So I would say I have about a 6-hour journey. And then once I get to Sonora, there's rapids around it, so I have to time it really good. I feel like I've gotten used to cold temperatures because I think it's like -3. I carried on until I hit a rock. I just did something so stupid. I don't know if you can tell my nose was bleeding. Right in here it shows like, oh, there's nothing there. Like, why would I go all the way around that? So I decided to try and go through. And I'm like checking over the edge. I can't see the bottom, so I'm like, it's okay. Well, boom! I hit the bottom of the boat. Like the loudest bang. I'm standing in the cockpit, like at the back of the boat where the rudder is, and I fly forward. I smashed my face into the door. I smashed my nose. It's like kind of bruised here. I don't know if you can see it. And then my chin, which is looking a lot better. So I quickly reversed the crap out of there. And I learned never to go in green sections. I was gonna finish the trip. And then I entered into the Discovery Islands, which is one of the smaller grouping. It's like a group of smaller islands, which my island, Sonora, is in there. Okay, I've graduated from going up bigger inlets to going through small inlets, which is scary because there's more shallow parts, but look at my chin. Which is so beautiful in there. Like once you get in, it's like, oh, is this like heaven? Like it's so gorgeous. So once I got into there, I felt pretty happy. And I realized that I was covering enough ground fast enough that I was actually going to make it there that night. That right there is Sonora. We're almost there. I had to pass through 2 sets of rapids. Okay, right now I'm going through Surge Narrows, which is right here. It's supposed to be a really dangerous passage because there's lots of rapids. But I literally knew nothing, but I perfectly timed it that the passage I went through was at slack tide. I didn't even know when I was coming up to it. And it was like nothing. So I was really close to my house. Once I got into the bay, there's some houses in there that have docks, and I called to this man and he didn't seem to hear me. I was going to ask if I could anchor at or paddle up to his dock in my dinghy, and he didn't seem to hear me, and I learned later that he was actually completely deaf. Anyway, I anchored it there, I paddled, no one talked to me or saw me. I made it to my house, hurrah, hurrah. I had dinner. I forgot my water in the boat, so I collected water from a stream and I boiled it. Then I got into bed. But I felt very restless still. I lay awake though as I realized I didn't put the anchor down properly. I left some of the chain out of the water for reasons a sane mind wouldn't understand. Actually, that makes no sense that I would do that. I went back in the dark. I fixed the anchor and got the attention of the dock owner. Questioned what I was doing on her property in the night. I explained and she was very kind. I still cried about it later though. Okay, then the next day, I slept in the cabin. Woo! I made it to the cabin. I'm here. Day number 4. I rode the bicycle down to the docks with the dogs running alongside. Then went to move the boat from bay/dock. I got the boat into Owen Bay and tied it to 2 other boats. Okay, yeah, so I moved it out of Murray's Bay and I moved it to 30 minutes away. There's a public dock on the island, so I moved it there. But because there's so many boats at the dock and the dock is so small, it's just common to tie your boat to other boats. So I tied my boat to 2 other boats, so it was 3 wide, which is pretty cool and also an extreme challenge to get the dogs into the boat. Okay, so I stayed at the cabin for 2 nights and I met some more of my neighbors. I was so happy. And one of the neighbors that's right across from me, they're like, oh, well, we have Wi-Fi, so feel free to use it whenever, it's just open. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, we pay for it, but we let everybody use it. I'm like, this is island life. I didn't even know you could get Wi-Fi there. Or you have to pay so much money to get someone to come and install. And then also, the property right next to mine, along the road, there's this little building, and my neighbor was like, oh, have you been into the movie store? I'm like, what? like the movie Share, whatever she called it. Oh yeah, you can just come in here and borrow movies anytime. There's like thousands of movies in this cute little building. I'm like, this is amazing. It's so cool meeting people that like live full time on this super remote island and just living their life large, you know? So then the next day I headed back. On the way down, I hit the rapids going the right way, so they pushed me, and I hit, like, when you hit the whirlpools, it like shakes the boat, so you just gotta gun it so it doesn't like start spinning you. And then I was talking to my dad on the phone because I had reception there. And he decided that he was gonna fly and meet me. The flight from Vancouver to Powell River was literally like 15 minutes. So he just flew on over and met me, and he did the last day with me, which was so great.
The water's been a little bit more rough than it's been the last few days. Sitting on the front, harnessed in, has been pretty fun. My dad's here.
There's like 17 knots of wind and 2 or 3 meter waves, which I didn't have it all the whole time. The trip overall was really overwhelming for me, but like I'm glad I did it because I feel stronger because of it. And I think from now on I'll probably bring other people with me just because it'll be way more fun. 260 miles round trip to my island house.
Sailing, sailing home, sailing, sailing home. With Jesus in the boat, you can smile at the storm as we go sailing home.